I do think there's a balance that needs to happen with me that I feel like I wanted to just expound to y'all. I think for a long time I've allowed the joke to be not too much, but it's probably been the crux of my involvement at a certain point. And for me as a person who feels like I'm more than just being a joke or a part of a joke, I don't want that to be the consistent thing that's happening, especially when guests are now starting to think that they can do so.
My first point, I've also noticed that you've been taking a lot of jokes, but I also know that you're dealing with lifing. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that the cast knows that you're dealing with lifing.
Yeah.
So I did mean to have a conversation with you about just saying something to your co-hosts about just lifing.
I mean,
because people will get to joking like you normally take a joke, and sometimes it ain't time for that level of joke. Listen, I tell everybody, Mel is polarizing.
She is.
And people come up here, and there is that energy that I understand. Like, I don't have to go into a monologue. That was on full display.
What's good, Elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. Me that it has taken Emanny this long to get to this point. And y'all aren't disappointing me in the comment section. Every single one of y'all is getting upset at Emanny saying he's too sensitive because he's setting boundaries. Everybody gets joked on. Everybody. Not in this degree, guys. No, they don't. No, they don't. Shoot anything in the direction of Ice and see how he handles it. Every time they shoot at Ish, see how he handles it. Every time they shoot at Flip, see how he handles it. None of them are great at just being the butt of all the jokes. None of them. And Emanny is the butt of the jokes. So now that he's finally put his foot down, everybody in the comment section is going crazy on him. But Emanny, this is your fault. I've been said something. I haven't forgot, because it's funny that you started this off by saying your mom passed when you first joined the pod. And I went belligerent on Joe for how he addressed your mom on the pod. But your dumbass had the gall. This is how I know money controls nigga and situation controls niggas. And Joe ties all of this up succinctly with his 2 points. You had the gall to come on the next episode and say, it's not that serious, guys. We joke like that all the time. Just to backdoor and get mad that now guests are starting to see how the co-host treats you, because you didn't want to shut this shit down months ago. And every time you do speak on it, on cam, since y'all want to bring all this drama to the cameras, you never fully speak on it. So, of course, people are going to continue shooting shots in your direction. And Mark is the worst at it. And he's even saying, Emanny's going to beat my ass one day. He's basically telling you, Emanny, you need to shoot back to stop this. Because if not, I'm going to flame your ass up. And unfortunately, when it comes to this entertainment shit, you can't be reasonable. You can't set boundaries like this. Because Melissa tries to do the same thing, and we take the same shots at her. So all the comments in your direction showing vitriol are well-deserved. I don't agree with any of them, but they're well-deserved because of how long it took you to get to this point. You cannot allow people to speak to you in this manner. I say this shit all the time, and for whatever reason, people don't think this has a carryover. If you don't immediately set boundaries, people are going to push your boundaries to see how far they can take it. And once you elevate to stage 3 and stage 4, you can never get back to stage 1. You understand me? So if I'm ill enough to make a dead ashes or a dead mom's ashes off the couch joke, and you come defend me, there's no way 2 months later or a month later, I don't even think it's been that long, I can defend you because Berg's shooting shots in your direction because he wants to fuck a bitch you fucked. And I'm sorry. I'm in my zone. Melissa, you yourself are not a bitch. Now, because he set his boundaries too late in this stage of all their relationships, it's going to be a joke going forward. And Joe told us, finally, Emanny is going through shit. He's really going through shit. So all these jokes are hitting home. I already say I don't like telling jokes. If I make people laugh, it's because I'm telling the truth and it just happens to be funny. But when people use the guise of a joke, it's them telling you how they genuinely feel about you in the least confrontational way possible. The joke wouldn't be funny if there was no truth to it. And people will say this and laugh in your face. I understand this is entertainment. None of them, with the exception of Mark, because even Joe isn't the greatest at taking jokes. And that's why Mark gets confused every time they turn on him for making the jokes that he makes. Because Mark is a great joker. He's a great joker. I myself would fight Mark if he kept droning on me, because I don't joke back. So I can't joke back with niggas like this. I get serious real quick, 0 to 100 real quick. Mark, you have to stop speaking to me like this, G. I'm sorry. I can't take this. I'm not emotionally intelligent like you are, nigga. I'm tensed up. If this proceeds to continue, one of us won't be in the same room. That's how I address niggas. And I'm not telling you to be me, but it's clear as day, Mark, y'all can't spar with him on that level. You can't. That's why Mark is like, Emanny's going to wind up fighting me, because that's what I would do. And I can't even tell y'all how many correlations me and Emanny have throughout the gist of our lives. If y'all want to call me a bummy ass nigga, feel free. I got my own business. I make way more money off of YouTube than a lot of these bigger channels. Let's not talk in that direction with me. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I've been perfect my whole life. So that's why I'm able to speak on all of these bum ass experiences and intellectual experiences. I've been able to witness both sides. Emanny's still in the stage where he doesn't realize he could ascend to the other side. And that's what Joe was trying to tell us. This nigga's life is lifing. Everybody's going through some shit, man. But when your finances ain't in order, or even if they are in order, here's the real kicker that nobody wants to speak on. Because I've dealt with this with my lady. Even if your finances are okay, if they're not to the place where you need them to be, to where you feel that you could fully stand on your own, everything's going to affect you like this. Everything. Joe didn't bring this up for no reason. Look, Emanny is getting well compensated by the likes of me every time he's on Patreon. But since his job up here is in limbo based off of emotions for me, him, and everybody else on the show, including the audience, it's not a guaranteed check for him. He can't just move autonomously like he would like to. Once he gets his own established anything, he's going to move entirely different. He'll either be able to accept the jokes or he'll be able to dish them out. He'll be able to dish them out. A lot of the times people accept jokes because they're looking at other facets of their life, even if they're not monetarily dependent or independent. I'm handsome, I'm charismatic, I can carry myself well, I know I could be the center of attention anywhere I go type shit. So when people are doing that, I don't pay attention to it as much because I'm not no ugly nigga. That's how Emanny's viewing this shit, I promise you. But it gets to a point where you're like, wait a minute. Why do you feel this comfortable speaking to me? Why? There's a situation that sticks out in my head, and I'll end it off with this. I was chopping it up with my OGs. I've been hooping with these cats since I was like 13 years old. This was like 3 years ago. I'm chopping it up with my OGs after hooping. And one of my OGs, because this is when I just was starting my landscaping business, and it was an idea, and I was telling them about it. And one of my OGs was like, nigga, you ain't even got no money to start no landscaping business. You ain't even got, even if you had the money, you wouldn't do it like that. And everybody's keying. And I looked at this nigga like, bro, if you don't apologize to me, I will never speak to you again, nigga. I will never speak to you again. Because at the time, my mentor, who I always speak on, he was the one doing everything for me to start my landscaping business. So I was just now getting the confidence in myself to get it off the ground. And the very first thing he says to me is that. And I looked at that nigga, I was like, fam, if you don't apologize, I will never speak to you again, ever. Because why do you feel this comfortable saying this to me in front of all the guys? Huh? Especially because I know how your life was prior to it being where it's at now, nigga. And I never looked at you like you're never gonna ascend to where you are currently. And you just felt comfortable saying that. And then I had to go even further. I was like, the nigga that's my mentor, that's funding everything initially, has never spoke to me like this. He's only spoke positive, and he's only spoke change in my life. And it was a big deal to me. And ever since, like I said, this was 3 years ago. I still see him. That's still my OG. But he changed his tone speaking to me. There's an amount of respect. And now we live in the same neighborhoods. And now I'm in the new whip. And now I got my own business type shit. It worked. But it's because I didn't allow a nigga to just speak to me like I was never going to be anything. And if you allow these jokes to continue, at certain points, it's going to hit you. Maybe the jokes really are true. Maybe I am a not shit nigga. Look, you can clown on my appearance all day. Because in real life, I know what my appearance does. But if you're hitting points where I am not comfortable, I'm going to lash out on you, dog. Just like everyone will. And anytime Melissa feels her intelligence is being tested by Mark, she gets extremely frustrated. Anytime Melissa, they bring up her being a quote-unquote video vixen equaling a hoe, she gets extremely frustrated. Anytime you bring up the sensitivity of Ice and all of him not being outside, he gets extremely frustrated. These things happen because the people you're saying this shit to feel there's truth in the jokes. So how many times are you going to be able to tell Emanny he a bum-ass nigga, he would go get the oil for a rich-ass nigga, which is in essence is saying you'll do anything for change. How much of these jokes can he take without A, doing something about it, or B, spazzing out on fucking everyone? There's a reason Joe keeps saying, as long as you don't break the table. Imagine what we're not seeing on cam. But this was solely a video dedicated to Emanny. I just wanted to get my thoughts off. I'm going to get better at just giving my thoughts. Everyone's not getting fired. I don't want to do the clickbaity shit in order to grow. Let's try to separate ourselves. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, you already know how we rocking. There will be a Patreon video uploaded today. Try not to really push that out until I get multiple videos on it. Y'all could feel free to subscribe. Free tiers only at the moment. I won't make paid tiers until I put content on. So if you feel like supporting the channel, feel free. Follow patreon.com/elevation. I'll see y'all there, and I'll see y'all a little later today. We got more videos on the way. Peace.